Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Andrew Sanders.
And I'm Paris Bousselon. Thanks for joining us.
Last night kicked off a week of homecoming festivities. The Homecoming Village offered a lot to students, and many more events will be happening this week. NewsLink reporter Sarah Lehman tells us more.
This week is Ball State's homecoming, the greatest show on turf, as named by the Alumni Association. Starting off the week is the Homecoming Village, and as you can see, the school spirit is at an all-time high. Here, they have stilt walkers, palm readers, and flamethrowers. During our time at the Homecoming Village, we got the opportunity to talk to the woman who planned it, Catherine Burgess.
Actually, it was a little challenging. We've been planning for 7 months since February. So it was a lot of planning, not necessarily hard.
After 7 months, all of her work finally paid off and she got to see it in action.
I was not expecting this many people here, and it's great. Like, people are buying pizzas, puertas, lines are down the street for all the free food, so I'm having a blast. I think it's a great turnout.
Homecoming week is filled with lots of exciting events for the students and the community of Muncie. The Homecoming Village was only the start. For NewsLink Indiana, this is Sarah Lehman.
Looks like homecoming week is going to be a blast. Don't forget to support your Ball State football team this Saturday at 3 when they face off against Toledo.
Exide Technologies will not be installing pollution control equipment despite pleas from Mayor Dennis Tyler. According to the Star Press, the equipment would have cost $31 million. Exide has agreed to pay civil penalties totaling more than $800,000. The company will also spend $4 million on new pollution control equipment to settle a federal lawsuit. This is not the first time the company has been accused of violating the Clean Air Act.
The Pope's visit to the U.S. drew millions of people to Philadelphia over the weekend. From Indiana to Mexico, they flocked to see the leader of the Catholic Church in person. NewsLink's Brad Siebert and reporter Peter Hoffman traveled to the city of brotherly love during the visit to get people's thoughts on Pope Francis.
I just admire the way he loves children, and I don't know, it's just I get emotional just to think about him.
His energy and he has a charisma about him. His message is so true.
There's one reason you came here today, and that's the Philly cheesesteaks, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be it, right?
The Philly cheesesteaks.
Okay. So Pope Francis drawing these large crowds. For you guys to travel from Toledo, why? I mean, why is he drawing these large crowds? What's the draw for you all?
I mean, I think just there's so much hope and excitement to see him and meet him. And I don't know, he's just such an inspirational person. He's just an inspiration to me.
But he just attracts just these large crowds of people from all faiths. I mean, everyone wants to see Pope Francis. And I think there's a reason for that. It's because he's such a people's pope.
And when you gather in these large crowds and see the universality of the whole entire faith, it really helps inspire you and to living out that faith.
Just looking at him, I feel like he doesn't even have to say anything. His smile, he captures I love him.
Francis became the 4th pope in history to visit the United States. He concluded his 6-day trip on Sunday after celebrating a public mass in Philadelphia.
Today, the president of Planned Parenthood was bombarded with questions and criticism from the House of Representatives. CNN's Steve Nance has the story.
At a House oversight hearing on Tuesday, Republicans told Planned Parenthood President Cecile Richards how they felt about federal funding for her organization.
This is an organization that doesn't need federal subsidy.
Take the money from the guys doing the bad things and give it to the ones who aren't.
The hearing comes after the release of a series of edited undercover videos produced by conservative activists that claim to show Planned Parenthood employees negotiating the sale of fetal tissue.
The outrageous accusations leveled against Planned Parenthood based on heavily doctored videos are offensive and categorically untrue.
But some House Republicans aren't buying it, and they're threatening to shut down the federal government. Their odds of succeeding, however, took a big hit when their leader, Speaker John Boehner, announced he was stepping down in October and promised to work with Democrats on a funding bill.
Should we defund Planned Parenthood? Of course we should.
This controversy has made its way from Capitol Hill to the campaign trail, with many Republican candidates expressing outrage and demanding action. But Richards insists that federal funding for her organization is critical to providing necessary health care, especially to lower-income women.
It is impossible for our patients to understand why Congress is once again threatening their ability to go to the health care provider of their choice.
The House is expected to vote on a funding bill on Wednesday. In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
There are 25%.
Planned Parenthood currently receives about $450 million in federal funding.
A top leader in the Indiana House of Representatives abruptly resigned Tuesday. Republican Judd McMillan was the House Majority Leader for this year's legislative session and was considered a rising star in the Republican Party. McMillan said he stepped down in order to spend more time with his family. His surprise resignation came just a week after sending out a strange text saying his phone was stolen and to disregard any text recently received by him. Eyewitness news sources confirmed his resignation was actually connected to a sex video found on his phone. This is not the first time McMillan has resigned from a job under questions about sex. A new caucus will be called in upcoming days to fill the position.
Indiana Michigan Power is warning its customers to be aware of scam artists posing as I&M personnel. The Star Press reports that in this recurring scam, customers are told they are behind on their electric bill and will face immediate disconnection. According to a release from I&M, the scammers instruct them to purchase a debit card, load it with money, and then call an 800 number to provide the number from the card. Customers who receive such calls should hang up immediately and call I&M Customer Operations Center at 1-800-311-4634.
Various Indiana lawmakers and law enforcement officials met Tuesday to discuss the usage of body cameras on police. The hour-long meeting covered many topics, including how long police should be able to keep video footage and if the footage should be publicly available. More than $23 million were awarded across the state's police agencies in order to get as many cameras for police officers as possible. The General Assembly will be looking to discuss more changes at the beginning of the 2016 session in January.
Now with this rain, I'm really hoping that maybe it'll bring colder temperatures and maybe some fall weather.
Yeah, I'm looking for clear skies, but definitely a little bit of cooler weather. Nick, why don't you tell us what we've got?
Definitely, you're going to be all right. Like today, we already just saw some temperatures that were cooler, and not to mention too, rain on and off. And as you can see right now, screen doesn't lie, 63 is our temperature with cloudy conditions right now. Those winds are coming out of the northeast at around 12 miles per hour. Take a look at the radar right now. You can see Muncie. We do have some showers just to the east, moving very slowly, and we're going to continue to track it here in just a little bit throughout the course of the evening. Coming up, I'll let you know how much you can see when we're going to be seeing rain, the cooler temperatures, and I'll give you that homecoming forecast all along with what you can expect for game day. Coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, and coming up, see what Muncie businesses have in store for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And a deceased man is robbed. Stay tuned.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
With October quickly approaching, Muncie businesses are participating in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. NewsLink reporter Abby Lutz has more on the topic.
October was founded as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in 1985, making this the 30th year raising awareness. Some businesses in Muncie are joining the fight. Scotty's Brewhouse and Insomnia Cookies in the Village are a few of the companies sending a portion of their profits towards breast cancer research.
This week's deal pertains to our Sugar Rush, and for every Sugar Rush that we sell, we will be donating $1 towards cancer research.
Found from the Susan G. Komen website and breastcancer.org, in the year 2015, it is estimated that among U.S. women, there will be 230,000 new cases of invasive breast cancer and about 40,300 deaths caused by breast cancer. But breast cancer does not affect women alone. It is estimated that 2,300 men will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer just this year. For breast cancer care all year round, Little Red Door in Muncie provides free mammograms for women with no insurance or no ability to pay for treatment. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Abby Lutz.
There will be more events throughout the month to raise awareness in Muncie.
A Muncie woman is being charged with operating while intoxicated after crashing her Jeep Cherokee into Muncie Liquors early Sunday morning. The 19-year-old admitted to drinking at Be Here Now before hitting the back of the store at 3:30 a.m. Police reports state the woman had a blood alcohol content of 0.17. It is illegal for anyone under the age of 21 to drive with alcohol in their system. Tire marks revealed the vehicle struck a curb, causing the driver to lose control of the Jeep just before crashing into the store. The woman will be charged with an OWI, endangering a person, and reckless driving with unreasonable high speed.
Yesterday, a Winchester funeral home owner was charged with theft. Greg Thayer stole a wedding ring off a deceased man before his burial. The Star Press says Thayer owns the funeral homes in Winchester. After stealing the ring, he sold it to a pawn shop for $75. A witness told authorities that Thayer asked him to open the burial vault after the graveside service on July 8th. The witness claimed Thayer had, quote, forgotten to do something. Investigator Annette Randall said the witness saw Thayer open the casket and remove the ring from the body.
2 children of Warren Jeffs have alleged that the imprisoned leader of the polygamous Mormon sect sexually abused them as children. Becky and Roy Jeffs, now both adults, made the revelations to Lisa Ling on her upcoming CNN show, This Is Life, which premieres Wednesday night. Becky and Roy are among 4 of Jeff's children who have left the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, or known as FLDS. Warren Jeffs fathered 60 children with some of his estimated 78 wives.
An Oregon rape suspect has been on the run for 25 years and has finally been arrested. CNN's Vanessa Paz spoke to the alleged victim.
I hoped that this day would happen, but I never actually really believed it would.
It was a manhunt that gained worldwide attention.
This is one of my most wanted guys right here, Paul Jackson. He's been out there 15 years plus.
And it all started in 1990 when Hillsborough police say Paul Jackson and his brother Vance Roberts were indicted by a Washington County grand jury, accused of torturing, raping, and keeping women locked up all under the roof of their Hillsborough home. This is archive video police took of the duo's house, where police found bondage, handcuffs, underwear, and photographs. Andrea Wood was one of their victims.
I go long periods without thinking about it, and then all of a sudden something will pop up in my head again, and I'll have a flashback or a memory, or something will remind me, and it's like you go through all the emotions all over again.
Both brothers fled after being charged, but 16 years later, in 2006, one of the brothers, Vance Roberts, turned himself in and went to trial.
Put some handcuffs on her wrist, and she was okay with that.
I had almost forgot what a monster he was until his behavior in the courtroom.
Roberts was convicted of kidnapping and rape, among other charges, and was sentenced to 108 years in prison.
I had a huge, tremendous sense of relief, but there was still some unfinished. It felt unfinished.
Police say Roberts never gave up his brother, but Monday, authorities in Mexico, working close with U.S. Marshals, finally found him. They arrested Jackson at a hotel in Guadalajara, Mexico, where he was using the alias Paul Bennett Hamilton.
I seriously never thought it would really happen.
Police say Wood was 16 when she escaped from Jackson and Roberts' home after days of being chained up.
I've managed to overcome a lot of obstacles and some of the trauma, but yeah, it definitely brings it back.
Woods says once Jackson is sent back to Oregon for trial, she'll be present every day and face him in court, just as she did his brother.
They had planned to keep me in bondage, under their thumb for however long they wanted, and now they get that treatment. I just want to encourage all other women, don't be quiet, talk about it. There can be, people do believe you, and there is justice.
A date has not been scheduled for Jackson's to return to Oregon. He also faces charges for failure to appear in court on a warrant that was issued in February of 1991.
Well, with homecoming week upon us, we're praying for clear skies and warm weather.
And with the game around the corner in the 5K, I'm just hoping for the best. We'll have weather when we come back.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
And I've definitely got my fingers crossed for a good forecast this week.
Hey, you and me both. Here's Nick to tell us what we've got lined up.
Well, I'm going to have to tell you the unfortunate news here in a little bit, but we might be expecting some cloudy skies on game day. But for now, let's go into what's happening here in the States. We got 74 in Billings, 64 in Denver. Kansas, you are looking at 64 degrees as well. Let's pull right on into the state of Indiana. As you can see, 63 degrees is the current temperature, 67 in Indianapolis. Bloomington, you are looking at 68 degrees. Well, as you can see on radar, the rain is starting to dissipate. Slowly making its way through Muncie, Indiana. Will continue to move off to the east, so we won't have to worry about that. But however, we will be seeing some windy conditions and cloudy skies later on this evening. Take a look at our almanac. 71 was our high today, with a low being around 65. Our average is 71, and 48 was our low temperature. Now, we did set a record back in 1971 with 87 degrees and 32 for the low temperature just a year before. High temperatures today, we had 73 in Lafayette, 73 in Indianapolis, and Bloomington, you are looking cool, 70 degrees. When speaking of cool, tonight 52 will be your low temperature, mostly cloudy skies, and I have to say it will be a little bit chilly. Those winds are going to be making it cooler with it coming out of the northeast at around 13 miles per hour. Definitely a similar story tomorrow, except it'll be 68 for your high temperature. Mostly cloudy skies, windy. Winds will be out of the northeast at around 15 miles per hour, so definitely not a good day to be throwing around a Frisbee. Here's what we can see for our 7-day forecast. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies. Friday, it will be 61, and hey, on game day, unfortunately, it's going to be cloudy, but 56 will be the high temperature, and hey, it will hold off the rain until Sunday with a 60% chance of showers, 60 degrees, and then those temperatures are going to slowly start going up by Tuesday with 67.
All right, Nick, well, thank you for that. And coming up, we've got your preview of the homecoming game against Toledo.
And we'll also have the results from the latest outing from the Ball State's men's golf team. Stay tuned.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Robbie General with sports.
You know, the big question right now
Head football coach Pete Lembo had his press conference this afternoon. While disappointed with last week's tough loss at number 17 Northwestern, Lembo is looking forward to the week ahead.
You know, the big question right now is just, can we get better? Can we keep striving to get the most out of each guy and each unit and you know, in a cumulative way, the team? And then can we fix some of these issues that we're having and get better in some areas? Because whether you look at this week or any of the next several weeks, things are not going to get any easier.
The Cardinals will take on Toledo for homecoming this Saturday. The undefeated Rockets are coming off a 37-7 victory against Arkansas State. Yorktown Volleyball was in action at home tonight against New Palestine. The Tigers were looking to bounce back after suffering their first loss of the season against Muncie Central on Saturday. The 23-1 Yorktown Tigers take on New Palestine at home. Olivia Reed with the kill there. Yorktown takes an early lead 5-4. New Palestine isn't going to make it easy for them though. Mimi Arrington rolls out of bounds for the save. Ball goes up and Taylor Lawson sets up to Caitlin Keel for the kill. New Pal down by just 2. Ball goes back to Yorktown, and Kate Avila gets the point for the Tigers. Yorktown up 12-10. Claire Manley sets up the play right there, and New Pal will score the point to tie it up 12-12. The Tigers would, however, go on to defeat the Dragons in 3 straight sets. After tonight's victory, the Tigers' season record improves to 24-1. The Ball State men's golf team traveled to Madison, Wisconsin for the 2015 Badger Invitational. The Cardinals finished in 3rd place overall out of 12 teams who participated. Ball State shot 30 over par after a wet and windy Tuesday on the green. Kansas handled the weather the best, shooting the lowest on the day, pushing them past Miami of Ohio, who would wind up in second place. James Blackwell and Michael Van de Vetter tied for 12th overall individually in the tournament, both finishing 5 above par. Despite the rough last day, this has been the Cardinals' best showing on the year. They finished 14th and 10th in their previous 2 invites. It's homecoming week, and Ball State football and women's volleyball will both be in action this weekend.
And coming up with your entertainment news, find out what is taking place on campus.
Welcome to NewsLink Entertainment. I'm Jackie Miller. Tomorrow night, Ball State's top 2 bands, Wind Ensemble and Symphony Band, will be performing the President's Concert in honor of University President Ferguson. The concert will have a wide range of musical selections and will feature faculty soloist Nathan Boger on saxophone. The performance will begin at 7:30 p.m. in Sursa Hall. General admission is $5 and student tickets are free in advance at the Emmons box office. As part of Homecoming Week, select students competed in the Student Scholarship Talent Search tonight in Emmons Auditorium. Winners were chosen from 6 categories ranging from music to freestyle acts. Each winner received a $500 scholarship, and the overall winner received an additional $500 towards spring tuition. The faculty royalty coronation took place at the end of the event. The talent search was sponsored by the Ball State University Alumni Association and the Student Government Association.
Now, I'm so excited for the homecoming game, but I really just don't know what to wear.
Well, if I were you, I would definitely wear something warmer, especially on Saturday because it's going to be 56 degrees. It's going to be a little bit cooler. So it's definitely going to be a good time to go out on Saturday. Just partly cloudy skies on Saturday, but hey, nothing to worry about because all the rain's going to be coming in on Sunday with 60% chance of 60 degrees. So homecoming week's going to be pretty decent in terms of weather-wise with just cloudy skies, but definitely wear something warmer though.
So is it finally time to break out your favorite Ball State hoodie or no?
Oh yeah, it is time.
It's crew neck time.
I feel that.
Absolutely. What are you guys most excited for homecoming?
I'm looking forward to the game personally because I think Ball State Toledo is going to be a really good matchup. They played well against Northwestern last week, and Toledo's got a good offense, so we'll see how the Cardinals can perform with Riley Neal.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.